I often get asked for books that are kind of like The Hate You Give, that deal with, issues around police and racial conflict and around Black Lives Matter, stories like that. And one book that I always like to recommend is Dear Martin by Nick Stone. So the main character of this book is actually, his name's not Martin, it's Justice, and this is Justice here. He's a black teenage boy, and he is doing everything right. He's a straight A student. He's never been in trouble. He follows the rules. He's the star of his debate team, things like that. Like, he's college bound. He's a good kid. And then there's like some weird random incident where, and a police officer doesn't see all of the good stuff about him, doesn't know any of that. All he sees is it's a black teenage boy, must be a troublemaker. And Justice ends up in handcuffs. Now, he doesn't end up getting really arrested, he doesn't go to jail, there's no charges. But it's traumatic because, as a young black man, he is terrified of what might happen to him if he gets arrested. And he's very traumatized by the situation. And then on top of that, everybody in his community knows that this happened, and they start treating him differently. Like, he starts getting harassed. Adults start treating him differently. White people that he knows start treating him differently, and he's just really mixed up and upset about all of this. And so he starts, in kind of like a journal, he's writing letters to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That's the Martin, Dear Martin. Kind of trying to work things out in his head. And so that's going on as he's kind of, trying to process his trauma and what it's like being himself, what it's like being Justice. And then, as all this is going on, he and a friend, they're just normal teenagers. They go out for a drive. They've got their windows down. They're blasting music. And this police officer is very irritated with them for that, because he feels like they're being a nuisance driving around and playing loud music. And everything blows up. There's gunshots. It's one of those incidents like you see on the news. And so I'm not going to tell you more about it because I don't want to spoil the story for you. But if you are interested in that sort of story, like The Hate You Give, I strongly recommend Dear Martin by Nick Stone as a possible contender.